you ready? Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome.
Let's get ready to rumble! Seattle's got to make a stop. Amon-Ra St. Brown's going to throw it back to Goff! Who had that on the bingo card? Touchdown Lions!
This is a Huddle Sports Network broadcast. You can find us on Roku TV, Amazon Fire TV, Facebook, and of course YouTube. Get all your NFL news here first.
That's right there on the Huddle Sports Network on Roku TV. It's the Main Event Football Show, podcast show, hosted by myself, Main Event Mike. Thanks, everyone, for being here. Victory Monday for the Detroit Lions. Lot to talk about. We are broadcasting live into YouTube and onto the Huddle Sports Network. Kneecap biting with the Motor City Lions. Big thanks to Jeremy B. over there for letting us broadcast into his YouTube channel. Also, everyone over at the Huddle Sports Network, thanks for letting us broadcast into your YouTube channel. We're also on Facebook on Main Event Mike. That's me, M-A-N-E, Main Event Mike. Been out for about 3 or 4 weeks. Sorry about that, folks. Had a lot of change going on in my life, but I'm back. And we aren't going to abandon it in such a special season for the Detroit Lions. We hit the end of week 10, and the Lions are 6-3. They're coming off a win yesterday against the Washington Commanders team that knocked us out of the playoffs. Yes, we're depleted. No Jaden Daniels, no Terry McLaurin. I get it. But this team, the Detroit Lions, they keep receipts. They like to avenge losses. Ask the Baltimore Ravens. Ask the Dallas Cowboys. They take them to the woodshed. When you get the best of this team, they come back strong. If you didn't get a chance to see Dan Campbell's post-game speech to the team, I strongly suggest you look that up, because some of the things he said I just loved, and that were things like, they can say what they want. We know who we are. We know we're going to bounce back. This team doesn't lose 2 in a row, folks. Not in the last few years. Not under the Dan Campbell regime. They're resilient. That's a word that Dan Campbell loves to use when he's talking about his team, when he's talking to his team, how resilient the team is. And there are a lot of competitors on this team that they take losing very hard. And it is so refreshing as a Lions fan to see that. I mean, let's face it, folks. We are in a golden age of Detroit Lions football. No doubt about it. I mean, number 1 seed, 15 wins last year, NFC Championship game the year before. We're talking about the Detroit Lions. And now here we are, 6-3 after week 10, a half a game out of first place. And the team ahead of us, the Green Bay Packers, play tonight against the world champion Philadelphia Eagles. So not a gimme by any means. We could wake up in the morning and the Lions are in first place again. This team is rolling. Sure, there have been some bumps along the way, but if you watch this program, you know this is what we've been watching since May. Since May, we've been looking at this schedule and saying that bye week at week 8, man, if we can come in even 4-3 at the bye, we're going to be in good shape, because the back half of the schedule has a lot of winnable games on it. And I'll give it to you that when we were looking at this, we thought week 9 was going to be a win against the Vikings. At home against the Vikings, we thought we were going to win that game, but we didn't. We came out flat. Minnesota came out charged. They took us to the woodshed. And woes to the Washington Commanders to have to play us after that, because we took them to the woodshed yesterday. But did we really? Well, the scoreboard says 44-22. But Marcus Mariota had a quarterback rating of 133.3. So it didn't exactly shut him down. He had no interceptions, 2 touchdowns. He also had 22 yards on the ground. But we were able to keep the team under 100 yards. That's huge for this Lions team. Anytime the Lions hold an opponent under 100 yards rushing, they win the game. I think the record is insane. It's like 16-2 or something like that. I saw the stat before. When we hold them under 100 yards, this team wins. So Hold on, I don't know. My battery is running low. Close. Why is my battery running low? Oh, that wasn't plugged in. Okay. All right. I think we're golden now. Okay. Sorry about that. So anyway, 44-22. But it reminded me a lot of that divisional game last year. I don't know about you. The Lions didn't punt in this game. Last year, the Commanders didn't punt. They just got a couple of stops on defense. They couldn't stop us, and we couldn't stop them. The difference was a couple of stops on defense. And honestly, folks, that's what it was yesterday. No punts for the Detroit Lions, 4 punts for the Washington Commanders, average of 1 per quarter. Defense doing what it needed to do, and the offense doing what they do. Now, I know that the biggest story about the game is Dan Campbell taking over the play calling. For goodness sake, the internet is on fire today about that. We are going to talk about that. But let's keep looking at this box score real quick. Like I said, Marcus Mariota, 16 of 22 for 213 yards and 2 TDs and 133.3 passer rating. On the other side, however, Jared Goff, 25 of 33 for 320 yards. That is huge completion percentage. You're hitting 25 out of 33. That's Jared Goff's game. Accuracy, high completion percentage. Don't turn the ball over. When Jared Goff holds on to the football and protects the football, this team wins. And that's what we saw yesterday. When the throws weren't there, he threw it away, threw it at the dirt, threw it out of bounds when it wasn't there. He doesn't have a lot of off-script skill, folks. Everyone knows that. So he does what he does well. And he did it well yesterday. But he didn't have to do a whole lot when you've got Jahmyr Gibbs on the team. Jahmyr Gibbs, 15 carries for 142 yards. That's a 9.5 yard average. Helped in part by a beauty of a 43-yard touchdown. Go look at the highlights. Amazing. He also had a receiving touchdown. He had 3 catches for 30 yards. So the hat trick for Jahmyr Gibbs and 3 touchdowns. So glad I had him on my fantasy team. I don't know about you. But I was also against Jonathan Taylor yesterday, who blew it up. So I'm counting on A.J. Brown and the Green Bay defense tonight to pull out the win for me in fantasy football. Lions didn't need any fantasy, though. They had 226 rushing yards as a team, as opposed to only 93 for the Commanders. They controlled the clock. They controlled the game. The offensive line, which was the problem against the Vikings the week before, were incredible. Jared Goff had time. He was sacked 0 times. And they were able to run the ball effectively. Pass pro and run blocking tight for the offensive line yesterday. That's what makes this team so resilient. They make the adjustments from game to game. They clean up what they did wrong. And they learn from their mistakes. In the passing game, it was Jameson Williams' turn. He had 6 catches, 119 yards, and a tutty. Amon-Ra doing what Amon-Ra does, 5 catches, 58 yards, and a tutty. I want to call out Khalif Raymond, though. 4 targets, 4 catches, 49 yards. He didn't get in the end zone, but he kept a couple of drives going with big catches. A big 4th down catch to keep a drive alive and keep the Commanders off the field. Khalif Raymond had a great game. Lions, in the end, 546 total yards to only 288 by the Commanders. Lions were 4 for 6 in the red zone. And a big stat that doesn't get talked about a lot. In the game against Minnesota the week before, the Lions had an incredible, 16 penalties, some incredible number of penalties. Yesterday, only 3 penalties throughout the whole game for a net of only 1 yard lost. The Commanders, on the other hand, 8 penalties. They were big ones. Defensive lineman Deron Payne suspended today by the NFL for a smack in the head to Amon-Ra St. Brown. Javon Kinlaw, their other defensive tackle, flicks the hat of the referee, gets ejected from the game. He's lucky he doesn't get a suspension. No word on that yet. I don't think he will. He did a hat flick. But that was enough to get him off the field, and that really softened up the middle of that Washington defensive line. Those were huge penalties. Dumb mental mistakes. Jonathan Vilma, the color analyst on the TV broadcast, kept pointing out, why are these guys talking so much smack? They're getting their butts kicked. He was right. Dan Quinn's team did not show a lot of discipline yesterday. The Lions looked like the disciplined football team yesterday, and they deserve to win the game. Another thing that's not going to get talked about is what a great job the secondary did. Look, Treylon Burks was their leading wide receiver. Yeah, there was a Treylon Burks sighting. He had 3 catches for 58 yards. That was their leading receiver. Mariota had nowhere to go with the ball. Mariota, as our friend Alex Marvez says. Marcus Mariota. And honestly, a lot of the yards and a lot of the big plays that Mariota did connect with, our guy was right there. The ball was thrown perfectly, or the receiver made a spectacular catch. Our guys were there every time. Terry and Arnold played a great game. And now it's not showing up in the box score anywhere, but that secondary played lights out yesterday. Now, if Jaden Daniels had been in there and Terry McLaurin had been in there, perhaps it would have been a different story. I think it's fair to say that they were definitely playing with one hand tied behind their back without their superstar young quarterback, Jaden Daniels. But I don't think it would have mattered yesterday because the Lions were on a mission. Let's check the comments before we talk about that Dan Campbell play calling. Hey, Will Vogel's in the house. Can't wait to talk Lions, hopefully with you. Absolutely, Will. Let me put the link in the chat. If you want to join, you're more than welcome to. Oh, my friend, good Big Dan Davis. What do I make of this whole Dan Campbell calling plays thing? Well, shit, Dan, you're segueing right into my next bit. I love it. Is this going to be a thing the rest of the year? Do you think this is an Anthony Lynn situation and Morton is let go at season's end? Didn't Anthony Lynn not even make it to the season's end, Big Dan? Yeah, I don't think Anthony Lynn made it to the end of the season. He was let go midseason, and that was the beginning of the Ben Johnson legend from that moment on. Will says, I love how Gibbs, J-Mo, Goff, and Ra played. Yeah, our skill players, our superstar players came through like they should. That's what you want, is your big-time players to show up and lead by example. Broski Bear in the house. Man, Broski, you got to come on. We got to talk about your Bears today. It's just making me look so smart as all the naysayers are putting this Bears team down. Look, if the Packers go down today, they're going to wake up in 3rd place. Bears will be in 2nd, and the Lions in 1st by virtue of their win over the Bears. But they will also be 6-3. Big Dan, Anthony Lynn was stripped of play calling midseason, correct, but wasn't officially let go till the end of the year. I think Dan Campbell called plays the rest of the year. He did, but with Ben, it was very well known that Ben Johnson was doing a lot of the paperwork and the administrative part of that. But I don't think Anthony Lynn made it to the end of the season. Somebody research that for us, but you might be right, Dan. You might be right. So here's my call. Here's my take on that. Let me get this link out here for anybody. Let's see. It's got to be this, right? Yeah, there it is. Copy. All right. And here it is. We're going to put this link in. If you want to join, you can join the live stream by clicking the link that is in the comments. If you are watching on the rebroadcast, we appreciate you too. Put your comment in after the show. We go back and love to chop it up about football. Got a lot of good people that come in and around this show that love to chop it up about football. We've got some trash talkers, so be careful of that. So here's my take on that. Dan, we will never know the extent that John Morton contributed yesterday. Dan Campbell did say it was a collaborative effort. We saw Dan Campbell with eyeglasses and the play calling sheet on the speaker, on the microphone, talking into the helmet of Jared Goff. But we don't know what was coming through the ear from John Morton. We may never know. How much input did John Morton have? And I think that that is important to determine what's going to happen going forward, or at least forecast what's going to happen going forward. I expect that this was a one-off for now. This was a get right moment. Dan Campbell did not want to lose to Dan Quinn again. And he took over the play calling and said, hey, let's try this. Let's try to get some rhythm going, which is exactly what he said in the postgame. And you could see the balance that Dan was calling. Dan was calling run plays from pass sets. He was calling passed plays from run sets. He was bringing in jumbo packages and throwing the ball deep. Go back and watch the tape. He was just keeping the defense on their heels. And I think maybe it was a teaching moment for Dan. As Ben Johnson and many others have said before, Dan Campbell does not get the credit he deserves for how smart he is, what a good football mind he has. A lot of people, especially opposing fan bases, like to call him a cheerleader or a meathead and all this. You don't know. This guy is top of the line, and real football minds know it. And people who are respected around the league know it. And Dan Campbell called the plays. One thing that Dan Campbell did call in the plays that Johnny Morton also did is they have been splitting series with the running backs. I don't know if you've noticed. First series is all Gibbs. Second series, all Monty. Third series, all Gibbs. And they go back and forth all game long until the dust settles. And David Montgomery had 15 carries and Jahmyr Gibbs had 15 carries. That's how you keep your running backs fresh. That's how you keep the defense on their heels. That's something John Morton was doing, and now Dan Campbell did when he took over play calling. I do not think, though, Big Dan, that he continues to call the plays unless there's another hiccup, unless it looks bad like it did in Minnesota, with Minnesota. Got a couple people in the back now. We'll bring them in. Will Vogel in the house. He's a Panthers fan who loves the Lions. And we've also got Chad Datema in the house, Bigfoot Chad. What's happening, Chad? You look like you came off an album cover from Queen.
Can't hear
Doesn't
you, Chad.
really matter to me. No, hey, how you doing?
Yes.
Glad to
What's
be
up,
here.
gents?
Hey,
Scaramouche. Will you do the fandango? Will, how are you?
Happy the Lions won. Disappointed with my Panthers, but I'm here to talk Lions.
Yeah, but your Panthers look good this year, right? Turn the corner. You predicted this last year.
Yeah, but yesterday was a horrible loss to a very mediocre, below mediocre Saints team. Tyler Shaw lit us up. Chris Olave lit us up. Alvin Kamara lit us up. I think it's time to move on from Bryce Young.
But Will, you beat Green Bay, and that's all that really matters.
And I feel you will, because we just lost to the Vikings 2 weeks ago. So I get it.
I think
That's
we need
apples
to
and
move
oranges,
on
though,
from Bryce
Chad.
Young. I really
Losing
do.
to the Vikings is not as shameful as losing to the Saints, to Will's point.
I think we move on from Bryce Young. I think you let him walk. I really
Wow.
do.
Can't let him walk.
He's improving, though. He's getting better.
He is slowly improving.
Oh,
Right.
God.
He's not going to get any taller, you know.
No, not at all.
Let's see what we got up in the comments here. Elise Memes is in the house, the queen of memes. Hi, Mike. Great to see you. What a great victory Monday it is. Go Lions. Go Lions. 6-3. It feels good to be a Lions fan, doesn't it, Chad?
Absolutely. I like that Dan Campbell. He said last week, if you listen to I listen to all his conferences because he's on local radio here in Detroit, and you get him too. He took accountability for it all, and then he just stepped up. I don't think John Morton's going anywhere. I think he's got a place in our coaching tree, but he's not going to be the OC. And I think Dan's probably going to take over, but he still gets the tidbits from, John's up there in the booth.
Right. We'll never know how much input he had. But so you think he does take over the play calling? Will, I do not think that Dan will take over the play calling full time. Do you?
I think this is a wake up call. I think it's a Dan Campbell saying, hey, if you do this again, I'm taking over permanently, because this, you can't have a hiccup. Yeah, like that was a bad hiccup. And like it wasn't great, but I think it'll go back to Morton. And if anything else like crazy happens, catastrophic, then maybe you do stick with Campbell. But I think you give Johnny Morton a few more times, a few tries more.
I agree. As long as things are looking good and you're utilizing all these weapons that Brad Holmes has provided for you in the right way, and we're winning ball games, I think, John Morton is going to be safe. And I like what you said. It's a wake-up call. Dan saying, hey, I'll show you, if you don't do this, I can. Because we have everything we need to win.
And I tell you what, though, I watched the game at my job. Man, Gibbs is second. I told my coworker, I love his second step is just phenomenal. It's
right.
So much fun to watch.
That
and
second
then you got
gear.
that amazing JMO touchdown. And then the freaking whole thing with Kinlaw and who was it? Payne?
Ron Payne.
Stupid, idiotic. If I'm freaking
Dan
Quinn, I go to him on the sideline and say, hey, you do that again, you're not playing the next game.
Right. John Dorn's in the chat. He's Pack fan, says sideline puppet. Yeah, that's
come on.
I think you proved yesterday that he's not a sideline puppet, John. Come on.
No, he's not.
John,
definitely
sideline puppet sitting in the back chat. When there's a link out there, you can jump on. Yeah, John, you're
seriously.
Don't encourage him.
Dude, a sideline puppet, come on, please.
Yeah, sideline puppet, cheerleader, meathead. These are all the things that the opposing fan bases like to throw out about Dan Campbell. And I loved seeing yesterday him squash all of those narratives in one fail swoop. Ricky in that chat says, sup, fellas, go Lions. Appears our new player caller means business.
I do have an opinion when I
go ahead, Dad. Let's hear your opinion.
Okay, listen, man. We just spent, people like to think that we just threw $1 billion away, but no, it's spread out. But we really did spend $1 billion keeping our core intact. And as long as like Brian Branch and Laporta and Campbell stay healthy, they are going to get their bags too. We are in a window, whether we like to admit it or not. We're in like a 3-year window. And I don't think Dan is playing games. I think Dan is like, I'm just going to take this over. This is my job. This is my future. This is my team. And I will take all your advice. And Morton's still like reporting. Did you see the guy on the sideline when they ruled the play incomplete and the guy made Dan take his headphones off and I don't even know who the guy was. He's not even.
No, I agree. I saw that kid. They had the kid with the little jockstrap beard there, chin strap beard, and jockstrap beard. I just read jockstrap in the comment from Broski. Sorry, the chin strap beard, the kid, and you could tell he was getting from upstairs to challenge the play. And I know that's what you're talking about, Chad, right?
Yeah, when he grabbed Dan and Dan took his headphones off, it's like, what do you want, punk? And he said, challenge that. It's probably what he said. I don't know.
It was coming from upstairs, and he was the go-between. I'm thinking, man, I want that guy's job. Right there.
Yeah. But he's right there running next to Dan on every play. Dude, I'm so proud that we have a Dan Campbell. I mean, we really do have one of the best player coaches in the league to where people want to play for that.
Yeah, I agree.
Absolutely.
Cue the Darth Vader music. Dun, 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 dun. There he is. John Dorn. Go Pack, go troll extraordinaire. John, good to see you. How are you tonight?
How's it going, man?
He's nervous.
I was getting double echoes. I had guys listen to you guys on YouTube, and then me coming on the show, I was getting double echoes.
Is it still happening?
No, it's all good now.
Oh, darn. Okay. So glad to see you, John. I know you had a health scare last week, so it's really glad to see you in here, man. Broski Bear in the chat says, John Morton is there to get Dan's coffee and wash Goff's jockstrap.
And give his dog a bath, too. His little chihuahua.
He's the eye in the sky.
John, I know that you love to troll and I know that you love to say stuff, but I also have heard you say on more than one occasion, I do like Dan Campbell. I think he's good. I think he motivates men, and I think he's so. Honestly, does that concern you the way that those Lions played yesterday?
No, not at all.
Not at all. Even after losing to Carolina.
No, because one thing, Commanders, they got their team is just they're not good. Their defense is horrible. Like they're ranked 28th. They're not good. It's just no. I want to see what you guys. I want to see what you guys do against like the Eagles next week after they get pissed off after a loss from us. Now you got to play them at home, pissed off. So now I want to see how you guys do.
Hang on, John. Hang on, Mike. Give me this for 1 second, please. No, you have to play the Eagles first tonight.
Well, yeah,
why don't you worry about that before you worry about us next week?
No, I think his point
I'm just saying, I'm just saying, you guys wonder what I think about him taking over the play calling and everything, and how your team looked last night.
Come on, Chad. He's making a valid point. We're asking him a question to use it as a measuring stick, and he's saying Washington is not a valid measuring stick. That the Philadelphia Eagles next week, then we'll see what you're made of. And I think that's a fair argument.
But you like to see the team. They gelled pretty good. That's what I like to see. You know what I mean? It looked better than it was against the Vikings. That's for sure.
That's right.
It's called Any Given Sunday.
It is. They'll get a Buffalo and Miami yesterday.
Right. I mean, great example.
You just don't know. I mean, and Panthers ain't bad as people think. They're up and down. They're good. They're like us. We can beat the 85 Bears, or we can lose to 2008 0-6 Lions back today. 0-16 Lions. We can lose against them. You don't know what package you're going to get. Tonight, I'm hoping we get the 85 Bears that we can beat. I'm hoping.
Well, tonight, Philadelphia goes into Lambeau Field, and the Packers are getting 1.5 at home.
No, that changed. Actually, the Eagles are actually up now. They're up like up 1.5 now.
Eagles are giving up 1.5. It was 2.5. Yeah, which means a lot of money is going on the Packers, and the line has come down.
No, they're going up now. The Eagles are going up. Eagles just took over.
It was 2.5.
80% of the vote, I believe, is on the Eagles. Is what I saw, Mike.
Yeah. So who do you have, Mike? I'm guessing I know.
Everybody's picking the Eagles.
I think the game's going to be real close.
But I think so.
I'm going to be rooting for the Eagles, of course.
Well, of course.
But anything, Lambeau, the Packers at home have been a lot tougher this year, minus one game. And I don't know. That Philadelphia offensive line is good enough to control that defensive front of Green Bay. And it all comes down to who has the better players in the trenches. I think I got to run with the Eagles tonight, but I don't like giving up the 1.5 because this one could be closer than that.
Yeah, we always play the Eagles pretty tough. They beat us 3 in a row. So it's like,
I believe
that's another thing. It's hard to beat an NFL team that many times in a row, especially at home. These guys are uber competitive, and they remember. And the Packers might come out with the same verve that they came out in week 1 against the Lions.
That's what I'm thinking too. I'm hoping.
I'll tell you what, against the Lions, no team would have beat the Packers that day.
Yeah.
And if they come out that way tonight, they will win against Philadelphia. We got Broski Bear in the back. He's coming in now. Broski Bear. Well, let's hear your prediction, Broski, before we get into the Chicago Bears a little bit for tonight's game. Philadelphia at Green Bay. Green Bay getting 1.5. Who you like?
Well, first of all, I just want to say, Dorn, man, it's good to see you back in action, buddy.
Cool,
and tonight, man, God.
Y'all rooting for the Eagles.
My history, I got to go with the Eagles tonight. Unfortunately, I'm thinking they win by double digits. I think it'll be a close first half. I think they pull away in the second half. I'm going final score. I'm going 31-17. Eagles.
Whoa! Broski says the Pack are going to get blown out tonight at home, Don Dorn.
Close first half, pull in the second half. I mean, honestly, man, it's my honest take on it. I think losing Tucker Kraft is huge. I think
Van Ness is not playing either.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I think it's kind of like they're going to come out. The Packers are going to come out. They're not going to come out like they did against the Panthers. They're going to come out with energy. They're going to come out playing hard. playing tough. I just think that the Eagles are just, I don't know, man, deeper in the trenches, deeper at the skilled positions, on offense and defense. And I don't know, man, they're just going to make more plays, I feel. So
I'll tell you what,
Jordan Love's going to have the game of his life, and the defense is going to have to.
Game tonight, it won't concern me that much because in the end, as far as the Lions are concerned, that'll be a tough conference loss for the Eagles. If it comes down to seeding at the end of the year, that actually might work in our favor that they lose to Green Bay tonight in the grand scheme. But I love the bold prediction, Broski, 31-17. John, we'll let you get a prediction in there on the score before we go to the comments.
Okay. You need our
give nobody else. I'll get last.
All right, Will, what do you think? Give me a score prediction for tonight.
As much as I don't like Green Bay either, I'm going to say 31-27 Eagles.
Philadelphia. All right. He's got 10 more points for your team, John Dorn. Bigfoot Chad, let's hear a score prediction for tonight. Philly at Green Bay.
John Dorn, can I get a drum roll?
Go ahead there, Bigfoot Hunter.
31-24 Green Bay.
Ooh.
Green Bay. Oh, that's right. I forgot Chad's a Jordan Love lover.
I don't like Jordan Love.
Yeah, he secretly has a poster of him in his room. I know. Big Dan's in the comments says, what's his tight end status of Tucker Kraft? Well, he's got a torn ACL, Dan. He's out for the year. Luke Musgrave, it's time for him to step up.
We got Musgrave and Fitzpatrick. I like him too. Actually, I like him quite a bit.
I really like Musgrave, John. I think Musgrave, he's a good blocker. He's great on runs. He's great to just get open.
Now, when they were drafted back to back. It was Luke Musgrave that was supposed to be the better of the receiving tight ends of those two. And Tucker Kraft this season was looking like the best tight end in the division. Hands down, in fact. Yeah. I love how much nastiness Tucker Kraft has in him. He's got a lot of will to win. He's going to be a problem for years to come, but not this year because he's gone for the year. Unfortunately, he did suffer a torn ACL, Big Dan. Big Dan says 30-27. He's predicting a Packers win.
What about you, Dorn?
And then Corey Patterson says 38-24 Eagles.
But Packers going to miss Kraft about his yak yards because he had a lot of yak yards. Yeah. So someone's got to find and step up and find that yak yards from him. Golden isn't playing today. Wait, it sounds or tonight. So
you're not missing much.
So for my score prediction, I'm going to go 21-20 Eagles. I think the Eagles win, but the Packers cover the spread and fuck everybody in Vegas.
Yeah, I kind of think the Eagles are gonna unleash Saquon finally. I think he's waiting for like his big breakout game this season, and I think tonight might be the night.
Yeah, in one of my fantasy leagues, he was traded yesterday for Kyron Williams. Straight up, couldn't believe it.
So, Mike,
I'm sorry. Yeah, that's tough, man. He's gonna have a big second half of the season, I think.
Well, the Packers
been saving him. They've been saving them till tonight.
Well, my score prediction is going to be 27 Packers, and the Eagles be 16.
27-16.
Yeah.
Wow.
But
so
Mike,
go ahead.
Did you just really say that it's going to be Packers are going to lose by 2 points and Vegas is going to win
21-20? That's my prediction. 21.
1 point, and Vegas is going to win 80% of the money that was put on the game.
That half point that Green Bay is getting is going to kill all those Eagle fans.
Now, how many tush pushes will we see tonight?
No, see, that's right where I was going with my next comment, John. There is a game within the game tonight. The team that tried to ban the tush push, the Green Bay Packers, I wouldn't be surprised if Philadelphia does it at least 4 or 5 times tonight.
Yeah. But we
just to rub it in.
But we stopped them. That's when we played them twice. So we stopped it twice. That's when we played them. So
that is going to be interesting. Every time they go into that tush push, all the teams' heads are going to boo.
And you know what's going to happen? They're gonna pull out and they're going to throw it on us and then go for a touchdown. It's like, what? I'm just saying it could happen.
Hey, John, do you know what the odds are probably for that kind of play? If you were to hit that, just throw $1 on that.
Yeah, exactly.
Holy cow.
Fake the push, touch push, and then
at one point this year, didn't they do 6 tush pushes in a row?
a couple days ago, or a couple games ago they did, yeah. I can't remember against who, though.
That's just crazy.
He did it 4 in a row. That's what it was, 4 in a row.
Wasn't there a
Chad
penalty
has
on?
6 tush pushes in a row since he was in jail.
Oh,
Philadelphia at Green Bay tonight, plus 1.5. Next week, Lions fans, we get this same Eagles team. And only this time it'll be in Philly, and the Lions will be getting 1.5. That'll be the next time you see Main Event Mike. Next Monday, hopefully we'll be celebrating a Sunday night football victory over the Eagles, the way we were celebrating a victory over the Commanders today. For Bigfoot Chad, Broski Bear, Will Vogel, and John Dorn, I thank you all for being on the show tonight. I'm going to shut it down here. I do know that on the Huddle Sports Network, they're going to be doing some smack talking tonight on the show. I'll probably show up there. I hope to see you all there, and I hope to see you all there at home as well. Thanks, everybody, for sticking with me. Put your comments in. Hit some sort of emoji, man. I don't care if it's a thumb or a heart or a puking emoji. I don't know. Hit emojis. That's what this whole game is about. I appreciate everybody watching live. I appreciate everybody who's watching this on the rebroadcast. I'm talking to you, too. Put it in the chat. Ask us a question. Spark a conversation. Who knows how long it'll keep going. I'll be back again next week at 7 p.m. Eastern Time on Main Event Mike. God bless each and every one of you. Peace out.
Yeah, yo, it's game time. Ain't no messing around. Huddle Sports Network, the best in town. From NFL rumors to the latest trends, we got all your sports. Just tune in, my friends. Catch us on Roku, Fire Stick, take your pick. Facebook, YouTube, where the action's slick. Daily shows that drop.